Hello, I'm Katrina M. Craft, and you've just tuned into the Craft More Cash podcast, where finance meets innovation and strategy becomes reality. With over 2 decades navigating the twists and turns of accounting, tax, and business strategy, I've had the incredible opportunity to work with startups and Fortune 500 companies alike, crafting pathways for businesses to grow and thrive. I've tailored my expertise to serve the unique needs of industries ranging from real estate to creators to marketing and beyond. I'm on a mission to equip individuals with the financial savvy they need to succeed. Through my Wealth Intelligence course, I'm all about breaking down complex concepts into actionable strategies for business owners. Welcome to Craft More Cash. Let's make wealth building simple, fun, and effective. Ready to transform your financial journey? I am so excited to be here today to just talk about how to grow your wealth with real estate. We have a lot to talk about today, and let's get into the meat of what is happening with investing in real estate. I'm Katrina Craft, and I do have companies that are CPA company, and I also have a craft entertainment CFO company where we work with entertainers and people in the entertainment industry. I'm also a real estate investor. I love real estate as a tool to build your wealth. In 2002, I took the dive and started my business, my CPA firm. In 2003, I actually bought my first house, and that was my residence. In 2005, I bought my first real estate investment property, which was a single family rental. And what I like to say is you may look at 100 houses, put in 20 offers to get that one deal. So that's important to know that sometimes it may be more difficult to get a house and find that house that is best for you and what you're trying to do if you want single family. We're going to talk about all different types of investing. I've worked with clients who do flips. I've worked with clients who wholesale. I've worked with Airbnb clients. I've worked with clients who have done crowdfunding, clients who have used hard money lending, clients who have done building. So we have some builders also who have clients of ours who have done single family building, people who have owned 100+ unit apartments. So I've scanned a lot of tax returns and helped a lot of real estate investors with strategies as well as operating real estate. So one of the biggest problems in this country is individuals need more knowledge about growing wealth and managing their finances. And I love giving information about wealth building, especially when we talk about real estate. So do you believe you have the information you need to have a successful real estate investment? If not, you definitely want to stay tuned and get more information. So let's first talk about the 7 income streams of millionaires. And the reason I want to talk about this is because when you talk about the 7 streams of millionaires, a lot of these streams can be real estate investment opportunities. Sometimes people think real estate is just single family homes or apartments, but there are many different streams of income that you can make from real estate investment. So the first one let's talk about is different ways of passive income. So you have interest. You can actually do peer-to-peer lending. You can lend someone else money so that they can invest in real estate. And when you do that, you can charge them an interest rate for lending money to them so that they can go buy a property. Remember, that may be a way for you to also get finances to purchase your property is through peer-to-peer lending. Usually I have seen different platforms. So there are platforms like crowdfunding platforms. And those platforms I have seen to pay out as high as 9%. So I actually was in a crowdfunding platform through Fund That Flip.
and did 2 deals through Fund That Flip. In Fund That Flip, you find the property. They'll list different properties and you evaluate and you say, this is a property that I want to invest in. And you could put as little as, I think on this deal, it was $1,500. So they'll tell you how much you need to put in each deal. You can put as little as $1,500 in the deal. And on this particular property, the one I did, I got 9% return. Now, it is not risk-free. So all of these platforms, Realty Mogul, Fund That Flip, CrowdStreet, Fundrise, they're some of the top ones that people utilize. You need to be aware that you do have risk, because on one of the Fund That Flip properties that we did, we waited 2 years to get any type of money. And we even thought that we were going to lose the money, because what happened is the actual person who had the property, they came into some type of hard times with getting funding and as far as getting inspections approved by the government. And so what happened is it delayed us getting our money. So just know that that is one way, though, is through crowdfunding, peer-to-peer funding, where you're investing in someone else's property and you're getting a percentage. Also, you can get dividends through real estate investment. That's a way if you invest in some type of stock that invests in real estate, you could get dividends from real estate investing. Capital gains. So if you're not familiar with capital gains, it's when you have a gain from when you sell an investment. A capital gain can be long-term, which means you've held that investment for a year or longer, or if it's short-term, you've held it for less than a year. When you sell a real estate property, a lot of times you will need to recognize capital gains unless you do a 1031 exchange. That's a tax strategy where you defer your gain on your sale and you just roll over that gain into another property. But there are different rules on when you have to identify the property and when you have to close on that other property for the 1031 to really make sense and for you to utilize that strategy. But just know capital gains, you would pay taxes on that, and it has a separate tax rate. The capital gains rate is lower than your ordinary income rate. Ordinary income is what you really make from earnings. When you have capital gains, it's a lower tax rate. Also, using real estate, you can have royalties. So a lot of times you may think of royalties from books, or you may think of royalties that you get from music, but you can also have royalties from real estate. Let's say you have a piece of land and you may have mineral rights on it, or you may have oil wells or even gold mines on that. You can lease that, and then it becomes a royalty type income for you. So number 4, income stream royalties can also be done using real estate. Rental income. A lot of people know about how to make money using rental income. So that is another stream of income. That's when you earn rental income from individuals or companies who rent space from you. So this could be residential rental or commercial rental. Again, we talk about the crowdfunding platform. So it really allows the small investor, if you're not ready to purchase a property, it allows you to just own a fractional of that property, because you go in and you invest the amount, the minimum amount, or you can do more of that particular property that you've looked at and you've said, okay, this is something I feel like will be successful, I want to invest in. But again, it's not risk-free. You need to make sure you're looking into that investment and you're picking the proper investment that's going to fit what you're trying to accomplish. Also, you can invest in farmlands. So farmlands consistently increasing. That may appeal to some investors depending on where you live. You may want to invest in farmland. Now, when we talk about the 6th stream of income, that's your business income. So as a real estate investor, you can create a business. And that business, you could have various forms of investing. It could be real estate wholesaling. So wholesaling is when you actually obtain a contract on a property, and then you turn around and you sell that contract to an investor. That is wholesaling. flipping. People have done flipping and heard of flipping, but sometimes people don't really know that it does take work to flip a home, and you need to make sure that you have, when you purchase it, you make sure that there's equity in the property, and when you fix it up, you can make a profit. The goal of flipping is to purchase the home, remodel it, and then you sell it for a net profit. Short-term rental, that's another great way. Everyone is talking about Airbnb rentals. That's short-term rental. So it still could be your business income, but it's short-term rental. And short-term rental definition is that the average period for the customer, they're using it 30 days or less. And it's with significant personal services that are provided in connection with the property. So when you think about Airbnb, it fits short-term rental because you are, a lot of times you're providing different services. You're providing the furnished apartment. You're providing the sheets and the bedding and the cleanup. So that would qualify as short-term rental. Also, short-term rental is included when the average period of customer use is 7 days or less. You could rent your personal home and not provide any services, and that could be a short-term rental. But there is a trick on renting your home or your vacation home. If you rent it for 14 days or less, you're not paying any taxes on the income of that rental. So there are different strategies when you look at real estate investing that you need to be aware of. Now let's go to number 7, which is earned income. You work for a real estate company as an employee. So on the earned income, you just make sure that you are working for someone else, you're an employee, and that's earned income. Angela, did you have a question?
Yeah, I was going to interject before we got too far because I do have 2 questions.
Okay.
Regarding the crowdfunding. When you participate, or when a person participates in crowdfunding, what is the average time, I guess, that you've experienced it takes to get a return on that investment?
So on the crowdfunding, we were getting interest every month, but we didn't get the return of our investment until 2 years. So on the crowdfunding, it will tell you when you will get the return on your investment, but we were getting interest income every month. Now, on the one deal where it took longer, we thought that we were just going to lose our money, but they caught up all of our interest for 5 months that we didn't get paid, and they gave us our principal back. So sometimes that could happen as well. We thought it was a lost cause and, it was just money that we were going to lose, but they end up catching us up all of that interest that they had missed for 5 months.
Okay. And the second question, you made a statement about renting your house for 14 days and not having to pay, did you say taxes on that income?
Correct. So if you're renting it for 14 days or less, it may be less than 14 days.
Okay.
Yeah, just say 13 days or less. You do not have to pay income.
Okay, so let's say, and I'm just trying to just get some motivated questions, but let's say I have a property that I'm not using and I've turned it into an Airbnb or something to that effect. And I am renting that property out for 10 days every month. Is it 10 days in totality or 10 days for each stay that I would have?
It's 10 days in totality.
Got it. Okay.
And it could be your vacation home or your personal home.
Okay.
So if you buy a house and you're going to use it for the purpose of a rental, then that does not qualify. You need to use it some for yourself, like personal usage as well.
Got it. That helps. Okay, thank you.
All right, so those are the 7 streams of income of most millionaires. And as you notice, all of those can be some type of real estate investment. Where do I go from here? You can learn to grow your wealth and develop financial intelligence by joining. It's a 6-week wealth intelligence program. So it's 6 modules, and every week you have homework, you have things that you need to go over, and you have a Q&A with me every week. And you're going to develop your net worth. You're going to have budgeting. You're going to look at QuickBooks. We're going to look at your KPIs, like what do you need to track? We're going to make sure that we have a plan that you wanted. And then by the end of that 6 weeks, you're probably going to adjust that plan because you're going to feel so strong and feel like now you have the wealth intelligence to make different choices.